broken. Let me get one more for you, Mike T. The Cowboys went 7-10 last year. Are you convinced they bounce back and make the playoffs this coming season?
No, but they are greatly improved, Greeny. And you and I both know Brian Schottenheimer really well. He has done a really good job with quarterbacks over his career. If Dak Prescott can stay healthy, this will be a really good offense. Tyler Booker, outstanding first-round pick at guard. Hembo just gave me a great stat. George Pickens, over the last 3 years, Greeny, leads the NFL in yards per reception at 16.8. And when he's complimenting number 88, who we're looking at here, those are two frontline receivers. This will be a fun offense.
Absolutely. A lot of attention was given to something that the Cowboys' new head coach, Brian Schottenheimer, said yesterday. Let me play it for you. He was asked about the development of one of his backup quarterbacks, and he offered this about his starter.
Oh, they were just drooling about this.
I think Dak is in the developmental phase, and that sounds crazy for a guy that's played that much, but like there's things that we're tweaking with Dak. The minute these quarterbacks think that they've figured it all out, that's when it's probably time for them to think about doing something different, because the way defense is attacking this league, it makes it almost impossible to ever relax.
Graziano, what do we think of that?
Hey, look, it's a thing a coach says, right? It makes sense. I think if Dak Prescott had a press conference today and was asked about those comments, he would say that he agrees with it. You're always trying to find ways to get better. You're always trying to find things to work on and improve. So I think that's Brian Schottenheimer being a new coach at a press conference saying new coachy type of things about his quarterback. But, I mean, the point is a legitimate one. If Dak Prescott's entering year 10, to think that he's a finished product and has everything figured out, I think would be the height of arrogance for anyone. And I think if you ask any quarterback that's lasted a long time in the NFL, they would all tell you there's still things they're working on to improve every single offseason.
Not only that, but the great ones know it and internalize it. J-Mac told a great story when he was here one time about when he got to New England. Tom Brady was already the greatest quarterback of all time. And he watched one day in the locker room as Tom Brady was just by himself practicing handoffs, taking the snap and doing a handoff, taking a snap and doing a handoff. This is a guy who at that point had won 5 or 6 Super Bowls. Yeah. And yet he's doing that stuff. That work never ends. And so, yes, Brian Schottenheimer is saying what coaches say, but I think it makes sense.
It makes sense. I don't know what it means. I don't know what kind of connection.
How good are the Cowboys going to be this year? How good are the Cowboys going to be this year?
They can be a 10 or 11 win team.
Yes.
But you know, the notion that the Cowboys are now prepared to go on some great run, how often are we going to be fooled?
Okay, come on, Titletown. Michael Wilbon, Hayden.
Seasons successively. So maybe I am undervaluing what the Cowboys are going in. But so much of this is going to depend on Dak coming back. And by a lot of it's just talking about coaching is Schottenheimer, who's proven nothing, who has everything to prove. We talk about coaches with a lot to prove. Schottenheimer's got even more to prove than Ben Johnson coming into this season.
Why?
Yeah, he was a surprise pick by a lot of people. I think he's going to do a good job. I think the Cowboys managed to win 7 games last year. I mean, Graziano said it better than anybody. No team has added a better quarterback this offseason than the Cowboys have.
There you go.
Dak Prescott back. Danny, you said that the other day. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people. Let's do a fun flashback.
What's up, good people and Eagle fans? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. It's finally freaking Friday, and take a look, people. Take a look, especially you Eagle fans like Logan Motorsport. Lovely Linda, shout out to Lovely Linda. You got 96 days, 23 hours, 14 minutes, and 15 seconds until kickoff against the Cowboys versus the Eagles. There's Roland's review. What's up, Roland? How are you doing? I know I saw Miss Hot Sauce and Gina Dallas Diva. Ooh, let's see. We got Lady Libra on both channels. Shout out to Lady Libra. She's double dipping. She must have multiple tools there to work with. And then, of course, we got, what am I missing? Holly Pierce. Shout out to Holly Pierce. Okay, so YouTube. Okay, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. For a long time. Okay, we all know this. My crusty old ass has been doing this for a long time. And a lot of times, sometimes YouTube, because I guess I have so many subscribers or I've been doing it for a long time, they experiment with me, okay? They go ahead and they try. Sometimes they'll try something new, a new feature here. And I got a notification yesterday about a new feature that is happening now on the channel, and I'm going to take it to another level. And what you may notice is, like right now, we've got Roland's review. She's got a crown there. She got a crown. She got a crown with a numero uno on that, okay? What that means is right now she's in the #1 place. So by the amount of comments you do, if you end up becoming a channel member or if you do super chats and things like that, all of those things add up and give points, okay? I guess this is like a video game now. And so you can see who's in the #1 place. Now, I thought Chris May was in the #1 spot. He had done a super chat, but right now, Chris May has dropped down to #3, and Lovely Linda's in #2. We can't have an Eagle. Oh, but wait a minute. We got 2 Eagles in the top 4? How is that possible? How is that possible? Actually, y'all all tied with 75 points. So I don't know exactly how it works. It's brand new. You know, what they're trying to do is get more and more engagement. But because you acted here on the Jobu Sports Report, what we're going to do, we are going to take the numero uno from each show, and we're going to send you a prize. We're going to send you a prize. We're going to start doing some more of the Jobu shirts and stuff and things. You can get one customized because Tracy can do that, or we can do a shotty shot or whatever one that you want. So we're trying to make this fun. We're trying to give stuff away. We're trying to get people excited for the season. Kurt Morgan, shout out to Kurt Morgan, member, oh snap, for 39 months. And there's Kiwanik, Miss Gibson. How are you doing, Miss Gibson? There's Logan Motorsports. There's Chris May, Retro Sports. There's I'm Awake. Are you? I'm Awake. You're all over the place. I'm Awake. Okay, so yeah, now see this feature. It's actually only out to a few channels right now, which means in a couple months everybody gonna have it. Everybody gonna have it because let's be clear here. What YouTube is trying to do. The reason why they came up with shorts is they were trying to compete with TikTok, okay? They come up with these new things in here to get more engagements because then it's more views, it's more interaction. That's what they want. And I ain't mad about it. Well, all they really need to do is just say F the Eagles and we get plenty more reactions and stuff and just say that Jalen Hurts is just an average quarterback. I guarantee that we'll get more interaction in here. If we just say Eagles suck, okay, I guarantee you we'll get more and more of that stuff because they are, seriously. Shout out to Miss Gibson, 41 months as a channel member. I appreciate you guys. And don't forget, we're going to be doing, I've just been really, really busy between my dad and stuff and all that. The tailgate members, we're going to be coming up with something new. We're going to be working on probably getting new shot glasses. We're going to get the shotty shots. Actually, maybe I'll get a shotty tea glass. Maybe we'll go ahead and spend some money. It's about $4 a glass, but we got to order like 50 of them. But maybe we'll get some shotty glasses. What do y'all think about that? All right. That's not what y'all came in here for all. You didn't come in here for us talking about new features on YouTube and stuff. You came in to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Couple of things that are really, really cool. First of all, should we believe, Alan, I'm good. How are you? Alan Williams, I'm good. Chris May, Vince P in the house, Logan Motorsport, F the Cowboys. That I got a lot of that on the Dan Salio show. You know what's funny, Logan? Big Sills was touting how many people would watch his spot before us with Phil Simms. What's crazy is we blew his interview with with Phil Simms out the water. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about him talking to Phil Simms. Philly 500, Mark Holmes going at it, boom. Yeah, then he goes crazy. Everybody watches that. They want blood. They want to talk trash. That's what everybody wants to do right now. All right, so with our OTAs, you heard the guys, of course, on everywhere, literally, trashing Dak Prescott. You know, if you want to get some play, all you got to do is mention Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys, and something wrong. And immediately you're going to get everybody and their sister watching, commenting, and everything else. The only time, this is what's crazy is, generally speaking, I don't think people really watch like the facility or speak. What they do is when they say something outlandish and crazy, that goes viral. That's the only time anybody watches. I don't know. I don't know about you. Do you know anybody who actually, gets themselves some snacks, gives themselves a couple of cold drinks, and, I don't even know what time does speak come on? Is it 3 o'clock after the cow turd? I don't even know. But do you know anybody? We got a new channel member. Ding, 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 ding. Shout out to Jay Smooth. Does anybody sit there and say, let me go watch The Faculty? I'm curious. And we got Alan Williams. Sorry if it takes first place crown from you, Roland. Alan Williams. Love it, buddy. I don't think anybody watches those shows like they used to. I could be wrong. Do you know anybody that does? And I'm going to say those shows are dying out. The only way they get any love is they talk about and trash the Cowboys. That's it. That's the only way that I know that they get anything. I don't know if they got all the kinks out of this thing yet. Because, see, everybody's still at 75. I don't know how the point system works. Because I'm looking at the top 14 all have 75 points. I don't know how it works. I really don't. Like Gina's got 50, JT's got 50, Kurt Morgan's got 25. I don't know if it's the amount of comments that you make. I have to do some more research and figure it out. But right now, Roll-In Review is still in the number one spot. All right. You get them literally going through, and basically everybody going through, paying Dak Prescott $60 million, eating up all the salary cap and everything else. And he's a developmental quarterback. Like, your quarterback isn't being developed. That he just shows up on game day and he knows everything and he's the perfect player. Is that what I'm supposed to get? Is that how it is? Jimbo, it's rigged. I don't know if it's rigged or not, but all I know is Stacy. See, here's the thing. I can see Stacy. I can see 3 comments from Stacy in the screen right now as it's rolling through here. So I think the amount of comments you make, so if you're spamming, I guess, you end up moving up the charts. I'll find out how all of it works more. Like I said, this is the first time that we've actually done it. So enjoy yourself with that, okay? And if you want me to look, I can look at it and say, we got Bob. Kansas City Bob is second. Linda is third. Jimmy Walker is fourth. Chris May is fifth. So there's that. Okay. You know what? This might not be good, man. This is getting to be a distraction. Okay. So you got Dak Prescott, who is actually running around and looking really good. He is moving around incredibly on the field, is cleared for everything but contact, but right now ain't nobody cleared for contact. Ain't nobody cleared for contact right now. So it doesn't really matter. And the one thing I'm happy of now that we are in phase 2, and that this is phase 2, week number 2 is in the books. The chump is here. The chump is here. That would be Drew. Now we got second week in here. The only negative thing that we've gotten thus far is Micah Parsons is not there this week. But it doesn't sound like, Holly, you're not in the top 10. Can you see the leaderboard? Let's see. Holly's 15. But it says you got 75. I bet you they haven't gotten the kinks out of this yet. Because everybody in the top 16 all have 75 points. And you got still Stacy's at number one. I don't know how it works. Okay, I tell you what. Somebody do $100 super chat and see what happens. Too much? Okay, I'm just an experiment. I'll PayPal you it back. Okay, all right. This whole thing's kind of gotten me excited because it's kind of fun to watch this and say we got a leaderboard. I just don't see how it's not changing. I mean, if she's got 75's been sitting there for like 10 minutes. So I don't know. Philly D, wrong channel though. Appreciate the $10 super chat on the other channel. Today my dad is in my dreams every day. Been 3 years, but it gets better. Been listening for a long time. And be well, my friend. Philly D, thank you very much, man. I feel you. It's only been 2 months for me. So I've got a long, long ways to go. Prayers to you and your family on that one. I don't see it either. Jay Smooth, hey Mark, which wide receiver you think is going to get cut? Woo, well, cuts wise, actually I had a whole thing about cuts that I was going to start talking about because we have some people who may be on the block that we're not expecting, and let me make sure let me get my over the cap. Where's my over the cap? Okay, I'll pull up another over the cap. I think Paris Campbell, you have not heard much about Paris Campbell. Chris May, different yet, laugh out loud. I think Paris Campbell might be. I mean, right now, okay, let's go through who we know is not going to be cut, okay? We know CeeDee Lamb, boom, chakalaka, is not going to get cut. We know that George Pickens is not going to be cut. Okay, so boom chakalaka. We know Jalen Tolbert's not going to be cut. We know that Kayvon Turpin, especially with him doing special teams, that he's not going to get cut. So those are the four that you say that's a lock on there. I think they still really like Jalen Brooks. I think that he might be the fifth one. But I think Paris Campbell is the one that's on the outside looking in. I really think he's one of the ones, although he might come back and be on the practice squad. But that's what I think thus far. But here's where, come Sunday is a big day. Because Sunday is the day that if you cut somebody or trade somebody, you have this year and the next year that you can spread out the hit. You're still going to owe the same amount of money. And for example, let's take a look over here, and I'll give you what we have here. Okay, for example, pre-June 1st, let me blow it up a little bit. There you go. We have everybody here on the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, his cap number is $50 million. If you were to cut him now, you'd take $180 million dead hit. And that's where everybody's like, oh, well, just trade Dak. You can't, okay? You can't. As much as you may want to, you can't. If you decided you wanted to cut Micah Parsons right now, you would end up, boom, chakalaka, saving $24 million. But you don't want to, why would you do that? That would be just stupid. Terrence Steele, if you cut him, you'd have $26 million in dead money. That's you wouldn't do that, and that's the reason they didn't restructure him, because they want to go ahead and say, let's see what you got. If you're going to cut Terrence Steele after this year, it becomes easy to do. You don't take that much pain. You'd only end up losing $8 million next year. CeeDee Lamb, of course, if you cut CeeDee before, it's $84 million. And Diggs at the moment, because a lot of people say, oh man, Diggs, he could be cut or traded or whatever. I don't know that you can trade him until he's healthy. However, if you were to cut him now, JD 1965, been a Cowboy fan since '79. Thanks for all you do here. Thanks to you, JD. I appreciate that super chat. Now, here's where things change up, because if we go up here on over the cap, you got the little arrow right here. If you were to trade, trade post June 1st, Diggs goes from a $17 million hit to only at $2.9 million. You could save $9.6 million if you were to trade Trayvon Diggs after Sunday. But that's not even the really big one. If you were to cut 2 players, which I think are possible, if you were to cut Donovan Wilson down here, okay, Donovan Wilson, you save $7 million. $7 million. Also, you're getting with Zach Martin, because he's retired after June 1st, that 10.5 goes to 8.2, so you save 1.25. So at the moment, we'll be at $33 million if they cut Donovan Wilson, and also too, Damone Clark is another one that could be a cut candidate that they could save money. They could save $3.5 million on cutting Damone Clark. Ugh. Okay. So those 2 are possibilities. Diggs is cooked. This is his last season with Dallas. Here's where it's kind of interesting, too, with Diggs, not just Trayvon. You know, there was always the talk of wanting Diggs and his brother to join each other on the Cowboys or play together. With what's happened on the boat, I'm hearing some rumors that he could be cut. Now, the problem for cutting him is they paid him a whole lot of money. He's got like a $64 million contract. I don't know how much of that's guaranteed, but cutting him, they're going to end up taking on a big chunk of change. So I don't know if that's a possibility, but I don't know if you've seen the viral video. He's on a boat Memorial Weekend, and he's passing an envelope of something. Now, I don't know what it is, and I'm not speculating what it is. Some people are speculating that might be bath salts or something. He wasn't taking anything, but he was kind of passing the bag to some ladies that were on this boat. Whatever it is, he's not showing up this week for OTAs, and you can see that Mike Vrabel is not happy about that situation and did not like talking about it. And maybe the Dallas Cowboys dodged a bullet by not getting Stephon Diggs. And I'll be the first one to say, I was kind of like, I'd love to see somebody with the talent of Stephon Diggs here in the Cowboys, that maybe he would work out a team-friendly deal because his brother's here to get a chance to play with them. But Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. I was, I'd love to get somebody, because, let's be clear. We have been desperate. We have been wanting. We've been thirsty for a number 2 wide receiver. We just have. There's been, come on. As much as Philly 500 just keeps going at me and, send me text messages on the Dan Saleo show, Dak is just a choker. Dak is just a choker. You got to have people. And you got to have people that can play. You got to have people that can get open. And for us to go through, I swear, I am so happy. I could cry. About George Pickens. I think of what it could have been. It could have been Amari Cooper with his old ass checking out self. It could have been Cooper Kupp with his injured ass self. It could have been Stephon Diggs with his drama self. All of which would have cost a hell of a lot more than $3.6 million. But we've got a guy who's only 24 years old. 24. No, Ron, I'm serious. The tears of joy. The tears of joy, Rhonda. We got a legitimate wide receiver to go with CD Lamb. We don't have to count on the Noah Browns anymore. We don't have to count on Jalen Tolbert being the number 2 or the old ass Brandon Cooks. We got a young stud. And for those out there that say Dak's got no excuses, okay, we'll see what he's got now. This clearly is the best group of wide receivers that he's had together. Clearly, I mean, you might be able to say Amari and CD, but I gotta say, I think that George Pickens is right now better than Amari was his last year here. Jalen Tolbert, I think, will do well. And Turpin mixed in at number 3. I'm okay with that. The player we need to have a big bounce back, number 1. Let me check. Okay, let's check in here. Shout out to Holly Pierce being a member for 18 months. Here's, I don't understand. The numbers have, I don't know, is it a max of 75? Because we still have Roland's Review, number 1. Alexandra at number 2. Philly D at number 3. What has Philly D done? And Chris Mays at 7. I'm Awake is at 6. And Linda's at 5. I don't know. You know what? I think it's rigged. Be honest here. If Cowboys fall flat again, will your excuse be Pickens? No, hold on, SB. Rhonda Lovely, can't wait to wear my T-shirt. Thank you. Send me a pic, Rhonda. Send me a pic, girl. Okay, let me say this. Okay, all right, because I see the haters coming out. As I look around, the ratings right now. Okay, the ratings right now. Yes, we got a player. We got a wide receiver. Yes, we have question marks at running back. We have question marks at left tackle. We have question marks at the defensive line. We have question marks in the secondary. Okay? If you look at the preseason ratings, nobody has the Cowboys rated 15th or higher than 15. Nobody. You got a new coach, all new staff, and a whole bunch of new players. It will still take time to put them together. Are we now saying that it's Super Bowl or bust? That's the expectations now for the Cowboys after adding a receiver and a couple of linebackers and a couple of journeyman defensive linemen? Is that where we are? I mean, I believe my team has gotten better, and this is going to hurt me. This hurts me to my soul to say that the Philadelphia Eagles are a better team. I don't want to say that, but I have to be honest and say that offensive line, it's like the Great Wall of Dallas. Saquon Barkley, 2,000 yards. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, hell, the weakest link you got on your offense is Dallas Goedert. And at the moment, that was better than anybody we had at tight end last year. So how is it if we don't make the Super Bowl, it's a choke when we don't have the horses? Shout out to Molly Greens, 37 months. Damn, we got everybody up in here. When you pay a quarterback $60 million, the Joneses expect Super Bowls. Do they? I mean, they made Tony Romo the highest paid. They made Dak the highest paid. If you're expecting, okay, here's where your expectations may be we're going to win a Super Bowl. But when you did what you did last year, you're a fool if you think, oh, we're going to give Dak $60 million and we're going to give CeeDee Lamb $34 million. We're going to win the Super Bowl because we paid them more than anybody else. Emily Ann, oh my God. Emily, where have you been? Long time since I've seen Emily. Shout out to Emily. Hope everything's well with you, girl. The Great Wall of Dallas is better than the Eagles' offensive line. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say, Alex, yeah, they had 3 Super Bowls. But, Alex, that's the closest offensive line that I can say that I've seen since then. This day and age, you don't see offensive lines like that anymore. And the Eagles, they've done that. They've done that. Now, I do have to go to the breaking news for the Eagles because, of course, Philly 5. We have so many Eagle fans that are in here. I have to give Eagle news too. Okay, let's get Philly 500 and his cowboy hating self.
Still stinks.
Yes, it still stinks. Hey, it's King Dingbat here.
Breaking news, breaking mother-upping news. The Eagles have found a way out of the chains that bound them and kept them stuck at the bottom of the ocean. The only mistake Howie Roseman made last year has been fixed. Wow, the Eagles are pulling this off. I can't believe it. I'm shocked it happened this quick, but I love it. Ari Marioff wrote this. Breaking, the Pound Eagles will trade defensive end Bryce Huff and Puff to the 49ers. Per Adam Schefter, Philly signed Huff to a 3-year, $51.1 million deal last offseason.
That was
but
crazy.
Now send him to San Francisco, where he reunites with Robert Saleh, his former head coach with the Jets. The deal will become official after June 1st. Oh my gosh. You got to be kidding me. And let's
That
go
was
right
a
to
big
Adam
mistake
Schefter,
last
what
year.
he had to say about this. Because this isn't just simply, hey, you could trade him and that's it. The Eagles had to rework his deal, and there's still things that have to happen. Adam Schefter reported, ESPN source, 49ers and Eagles are working to finalize a trade that will send edge rusher Bryce Huff and Puff to San Francisco for Bryce Aroni, the San Francisco treat, for a mid-round pick. A mid-round pick? What? The trade cannot and would not be processed until after June 1st. Both sides are working to make it happen, and Huff already has reworked his contract to help facilitate the trade. In San Francisco, Huff will be reunited with Saleh, his former Jets coach. And just to triple confirm this, because I want to make sure I'm not dreaming, Zach Berman wrote this: the Eagles are reworking Huff's deal to facilitate the trade. Per at Field Yates, the mechanics of the restructure. The Eagles will save. Jesus, Howie's a genius. The Eagles will save $7.9 million in cap space and create more than $15 million in cap space with a reworked deal, which would include the Eagles taking $9 million of Huff's salary and the 49ers paying the remaining $7.9 million. Wow. I mean, dude, this has got to be one of Howie's best, man. I mean, he's had a lot of good trades. He's done a lot of good things. But you're going to say $7.9 million in cap space by trading him. And then with the reworked deal, it's going to be more than $15 million in cap space with the reworked deal. I mean, that's genius stuff. That's genius stuff right there. All right? Look, we knew that Huff and Puff.
Okay, all right, enough, Philly, enough. Is it genius? That was one of those ones that he ended up on the deal. He had $34 million fully guaranteed. Fully guaranteed, okay? So I don't know that, you got rid of him. You got 2.5 sacks. So Howie is not infallible, at least. We know he does make some mistakes. And the linebacker, Lindell White, that one didn't work out too good for him. So there are a few mistakes. And you know what? At some point, these things are going to catch up with him. He's going to end up making some more. Howie vision. But congratulations to him for moving on from, a mistake and fixing a mistake. That's one of the things that I wish the Cowboys would do is they would fix their mistakes. But here's the thing that's interesting about Huff was that last year he was with the Jets, he had 10 sacks, I believe. And so the Eagles said, that's our guy. We're going to pay him a boatload of money. But if you looked at the other years that he was there, he never had more than 3.5 sacks. So was that just a career year that he was looking to get paid? And that's where he's crashed. Now, on the flip side, okay, the Eagles last year go get Bryce Huff and think that he's going to be, a 10-sack guy. We got Dante Fowler, 10.5 sacks last year, and that wasn't the first time he's had double digits. That's the second time. The Cowboys got him for $6 million. For $6 million. And that's where, Chris May has taken the lead. He's passed Roland Review. Roland Review has dropped down to the third spot. Oh, my God. What did you do? Chris, what did you do to take the lead? Oh, my God. Okay. All right, so y'all fighting it out in there. Okay. So one of you guys will get, as soon as I get back down to the Red Brick House, we'll get a Shoddy Shot shirt. Okay? So whoever it is will get the Shoddy Shot, or if you want a different one, you can go to the website and look and see which one of the shirts you want. Brock Turdy's his name. Yeah, that name. He's a 49er fan, which I have not heard from too many of recently. But be that as it may, you got to look and say the Cowboys have actually made some. Lola, I hit you up earlier, girl. I hit you up in the beginning. Lola, leave the back door open? What? Philly D, slow your roll, bro. Now you got Stacy crying. Oh, come on now. Okay. Oh, and we got I should have known. We got the fake Philly 500 here who's making the rounds around. Welcome, fake Philly, you jackass. Mark, you look different. Lost some weight? Pfft. No, I took a shower and put some conditioner in my hair so my hair laid down. So that probably makes me look. Lola, are you sure, Lola? I could have sworn, Lola, you were here in the beginning, early on. Or at least I thought you were. Okay. Mark, what do you think about Shoddy's comments about Dak needing... Oh, my God. Okay, Jimbo, we talked about that. Bro. Hey, bro. Jimbo, come here. Jimbo, come here. Okay? Every single player out there, whether you call it developmental or practice, everybody's developmental. You're developing them to get better. It's like this. My great mentor, Alex Lucas, used to always say, the day you stop learning is the day you die. It's the day you die. If you aren't being developed, then that means you can just show up for the game. You now have two great receivers. Great ones. You now have to deal with stuff that you haven't been able to deal with before, like separation. You know what I'm saying? Where guys are going to get separation. You're going to have to start dealing with CeeDee Lamb being single covered. Okay? Right? These are things that now, hey, Dak, instead of, Dak, we know, Dak, in the last couple of years, you get the football, and all you do is you look for CeeDee Lamb. Because CeeDee Lamb has got like 2,000 plus yards in the last 2 years, more than anybody else. So Dak, you're going to have to develop looking for other guys now because they can get open and they can catch the football. So Dak, you can look at CD and you can also look George Pickens. Okay. And Dak, because those two guys can go deep and they're going to be worried about it, the safety's going to have to come over and try and help one or the other out, right? The guys in the middle, you can now look down for those guys because now those guys can be open too. Unlike before where you'd look and say, everybody's covered. My best chance is CeeDee Lamb because he catches everything. So I'll just focus in on CeeDee Lamb. Because it's not like me looking him off is going to change it because everybody's covering him. And those guys, well, Michael Gallup couldn't get separation to save his life, and he couldn't jump anymore. So, I know what I got. So looking away didn't matter. So, yes, we're developing that. And we're also developing Joe Milton, who came in from the trade. They didn't automatically anoint him as number 2, but it's looking like he's a number 2. He's getting the lion's share of the reps. They're coaching him up. Will Greer is getting less and less of those. So, we're beginning to have the cream rise to the top. However, don't take anything they do in OTAs as written in stone. Okay? Because they're moving people around and getting a gist of what they can do. I know somebody's going to say, ooh, a gist, what's that? Okay, maybe I mispronounced it. Dak is going to throw for 4,500 yards. Shh. He just got receivers. Drew? Dak has thrown for 4,902 yards. 1 yard. 1 yard short of Tony Romo's record before. I know that's crazy. I know you don't understand a quarterback having to do that because your quarterback, only has to do about 3,000 yards and like 18 TDs because you got a great running back. And he don't have to throw a whole lot. He only has to throw 23 times a game. But because my team has been ass for so long, not having a running game, only having one weapon, not having great tight end play, he's got to throw. We either win or lose by Dak Prescott's arm, which is the same thing. Oh, my God, here we go. Hey, you know what? Hey, Philly 500, fake Philly. So you're Philly light. If you don't like what I'm serving here at my restaurant, you ain't got to eat here, bro. There's other places you can go eat. Fake-ass mother humper. Casey's in the house. Oh, my God. We got we got Emily Ann, we got Gina Dallas Diva, we got Roland's Review, we got Holly Pierce, we got Lady Libra. We got all of the ladies in the place. Oh, my God. See, that's why you Eagle fans are here. We got lovely Linda. That's why you Eagle fans are here because, nobody's showing up for those Eagle chats. Ain't nobody showing up for that nasty shit. Casey, have you gotten married yet? I know you were engaged. I know it's coming up soon. Congratulations to you. At Mike's Podcast Showroom. Hey, Casey Stewart, Roswell. Philly's on fire. We got a reunion going. I ain't meant on that one. But Emily, I hope everything's been good. I haven't seen you for so long. I'm glad you're back. Reginald. Y'all don't understand. Hurts said he doesn't care about stats. Well, it's easy to say that when you got a team. Look, you ain't got to care about anything. Look, I got a team that can carry me. I wouldn't be mad either. I wouldn't care about stats. You paying me $53 million a year and I'm getting Super Bowls and I ain't getting beat to death. Shit, everybody wishes they had that life. Hell, I know Dak Prescott wishes he had that life. Shit, you don't think that Dak Prescott would like to have Saquon running for 2,000? I bet there's not a single quarterback that would say, no, I'm good. No, I don't want Saquon Barkley because then I can't pass as much. Then I can't be exposed to the edge rushers and getting sacked as much. No, don't bring Saquon in. I don't want a running game. Are you kidding me? Thomas Garrett in the house. Hurts has a 2,000-yard rusher, duh. Yeah, Kyle Pitts. Mike's Pocket Showroom. Kyle Pitts. Well, that'll be a guy come Sunday, after Sunday. Him, Jalen Ramsey, guys like that will probably be on the trading block. They'll try and move them after that because they can split up that money. So we'll see if the Cowboys do anything. Now, the Cowboys are currently sitting here with $31.8 million. They're going to get another 1.2 because of Zach Martin going on to the retirement list as dead money. So that gets us up to 33. If they move on from Donovan Wilson, that's another $7 million after Sunday. If they move on from Damone Clark, that's another $3.5 million. That gets you to 43. And if they finally get Micah Parsons done, that gets them to 53, roughly 53, 55. You're married on March 22nd. I just had our baby reveal. Oh my goodness, I'm about to check it out. Shout out to Casey. She's married. You's married now. I said I's married now. Congratulations, Casey. And so, are you having a little girl? Are you having a girl? You have a little baby boy as a future Cowboy cheerleader or a future Dallas Cowboy player? Dallas Cowboy for life. Love, 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 love. Marino said exactly that, Mark. He didn't want a running back because he wants all the headlines and all the inks. Yeah, well, maybe if he had the running back, he'd have a Super Bowl ring. You know, I'm just saying. Yeah, he's got had all those records. Now they're being broken. But maybe if he had the running back, maybe he wouldn't have gotten his knees messed up too. And maybe he wouldn't have spent all his money and been broke. I'm just saying. But hey, okay. So you got any other examples of anybody that says, I don't want a running game? It's called Super Bowl glazing. Dak is not even a glazed donut. Holly Pierce moving up to number 2. Rhonda's Lovely Sparks. You and I need to take Drew and put him in the corner. He'd probably like that. He'd be like, "Yay, I'm getting double teamed by the ladies." Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's get the bullshit out the way. If I can find it. So, again, I don't watch the show. I just hear clips of it. And this is the facility talking about Schottenheimer's comments. Listen.
Especially when he starts the job, is he can control the culture and the off-the-field stuff. Because right now, I mean, it's...
Can he control?
We don't play football for another 100 days or something. So I like what he's doing, and I would say the culture down in Dallas is one of like a wine and cheese crowd. I'm from Dallas, right? Like, just from the fans, right? It's, you got big-time superstars, the fans, they go, but they don't expect, like, all these fireworks and stuff. They've been good at home, but the Cowboys have won in the regular season, and I think it was time for a change. I mean, Jerry Jones thought it was a time for a change, and obviously Brian Schottenheimer's never been head coach, but the culture that's set directly reflects a head coach. And in my career, I think like Sean Payton and Andy Reid, right? When I went to Andy Reid in Kansas City, it was his first year coaching. We were 2-14 in 2012. The Chiefs were.
That was ass.
Before Andy Reid got there.
Before Andy Reid.
So he had to lay the law down. He had to change everything about that entire organization. And he really empowered the players. And he really, we won. It helped that we won 9 straight that year in 2013 for Andy Reid's first year. But I'm saying this is like the culture that a head coach sets, man, it's hard to match. I've been around some head coaches that focus way too much on execution.
Mike, I'll have some more of those up for you.
And especially now in this day and age, especially with NIL and guys coming out of college, everyone has a brand in that locker room. Like, I look at Nick Sirianni, what he was able to do to hold the culture together in Philly with all these off-the-field stuff. Dallas doesn't have that, right? We can talk about Mike up here on the podcast.
Hold on. Billy Cunningham Jr., I agree. Winning in the playoffs is key. But unfortunately, there's 22 guys that are on the field. 22 guys. And when you get to the playoffs, you got to be perfect. It can't be one guy. As we were just talking about Dan Marino. Dan Marino was one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of football, yet he doesn't have a ring. Is it because he was a choker? Because he wasn't good enough? It's because his team wasn't. I mean, I can look and say, Aaron Rodgers, who has how many MVPs? 3, 4? Yet he only has one when his defense was the number 3 defense, and he had like 4 really good receivers on a team. So are we saying that Aaron Rodgers is a choker since that one Super Bowl? Is that how it is? I'm just trying to understand it because, I'm not going to say that Dak Prescott has had, well, he's actually had some good games. He did have 5 TDs against Tampa Bay. He did have 3 TDs against Green Bay, and unfortunately they ended up Aaron Rodgers' miracle play. Our defense couldn't hold him. He's got better numbers than some do in the playoffs. But when your defense can't stop the run and you can't run the football, you're not winning the playoffs. And those have been the same Achilles heels that we had with Tony Romo and still continued to have them. So, yeah, it's easy. It's easy to just say Dak Prescott. It's really easy to go ahead and do that. If you really do your homework, you can say, yeah, Dak's got to play better in the playoffs. I'm not going to say he's not. I look really good. It might be that I trimmed my gray beard up some too, and when I wash my hair and put conditioner, it kind of lays down. It's not as long and crazy. And also too, it looks, whenever I put conditioner, for some reason, it almost looks like I dye my hair. The gray disappears. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. It just does. But thank you. And these are my old glasses. I actually went to Our Eyes 3 weeks ago, and they were supposed to be, they'll be ready in 2 weeks. I'm still waiting for the new prescription, so I don't have those. But I can't see shit, so I can't read the chat from here without the glasses, so I have to put them on. Cousins and Dak are the same. No, I'm not going to say Cousins and Dak are the same. I'm going to say that Kirk Cousins actually had better weapons. When you think about having Stephon Diggs, he lost Stephon Diggs, it has Justin Jefferson, and you think about some of the Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph played some years better than any tight end play that we've had since Dak Prescott's been here. And you think about some of the other receivers he's had some really great targets. You can't say that the Cowboys, with having Noah Brown as your number 2 there 3 years ago, having Brandon Cooks, who literally was 1,000 yards less than CeeDee Lamb, and Jalen Tolbert are incredible weapons. I'm sorry. Can't do that. Just won't. So to say he's Dak and Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins is kind of slipping right now. Dak is still playing pretty good. But, if you want to put it that way, go right ahead. That's cool. And it looks like Chris May is keeping it, is holding on to that number 1 spot there. Will he be our winner tonight? Let me double check on the Chris May with 150 points. Lady Libra right on his tail with 150. And Holly Pierce at 150 is in 3rd place. I don't know what you have to do to jump past Chris May, but you're closing it. You're close. And then Roland Review, she's still at 75. I've got to find out how they rate this thing. It might be rigged. I don't know. I'm about to check on YouTube. North of the border, how are you doing? Shotty going to hold a high standard. That mentality will help us with the push pass in the playoffs. If he can get the team to be able to run the football, that could go a long ways. Now, back to these jackasses.
Love it. Like that's one of the few things to me that a head coach can control. Now, will it equate to on-the-field success? I don't know. Yeah. It's impossible to tell right now. But if you're coming in and you're dreaming big, I'm good with it, man.
Well, Brock Turdy. What are you talking? Oh, no. Hold on, bro. Tight end is great, bro. In comparison to George Kittle, to Kelsey, bro. Our lead tight end had 400 yards last year. Jake Ferguson's second year, he had 800 yards. That was the best tight end play that we had in the whole time that Dak Prescott has been the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Don't lie. See, that's what y'all mother humpers do. You make shit up. Oh, well, you got Jake Ferguson's had one good year. Period. End of story. Last year, he averaged 4.7 yards per route. 4.7 yards. You consider that great? Come on, turd. Come on, turd. Brock is better. Okay, whatever. Okay. Brock, you know what's funny though, Drew? Brock Purdy didn't look that good last year when he started getting injuries to his players. Without Christian McCaffrey, he was not doing that well, was he? Was he? And when he lost Ayuk, I still have to say, with George Kittle and Deebo Samuels, and you still had a decent running game without Christian McCaffrey, that was still more weapons than Dak Prescott had to work with last year. And that's a fact. Ferguson is actually, this is a pivotal year for Ferguson. See, let me pull it up. Jake Ferguson. No, not Jake Farley. Shit. Jake Ferguson stats. Boom chakalaka. Rookie year, 174 yards, 9.2. Second year, 761 yards, 5 TDs. That's good. Last year, 494 yards, 8.4 yard average. That was like old Jason Witten last year. 0 TDs. That's great tight end play. And Schoonmaker had like 280 yards. That's great tight end play? Seriously? Seriously. Ferg definitely was not better than Goddard last year. Not even close. Not even close. So see, this is the misconception because, like, listen to Philly 500. Zeke Elliott, man, you had Zeke. Well, Zeke, that's a name you know. But let's look at this real quick. Because Zeke Elliott's first year, unbelievable. Stud. Second year, dealing with the commissioner and being suspended for 6 games. When he got paid in 2019, shit went downhill. Because here, let's be clear here, okay? Every single year, Zeke Elliott's yards per game went down. By 2019, he was down to 4.5 yards a carry, 84 yards a game. 2020, 65 yards a game, 4.2 yards. 2021, 58.9 yards a game, 4.2. 22, 58 yards a game, 3.8 yard average. And in 23, well, it was with New England. But the last year he was here, it was 3.1. Sorry, I'm not equating Zeke Elliott and what he was doing the last 5 years as to anything close to what Saquon's doing. Hell, I'm not even going to put that as Miles Sanders since 2020. Miles Sanders played better for the Eagles than Zeke Elliott did. So stop the misconception and the bullshit where you guys, oh, you got great play. No, I'm sorry. Zeke Elliott has not been great for a long time. Has not. Jake Ferguson had one good year, 761 yards, his second year. Last year, stayed injured, and some of that, of course, was Dak Prescott wasn't there. So let's be clear here. Y'all act like Dak Prescott's got the Eagles' offense to work with, that he's got studs all the way across. When you say, because I've heard Philly 500 say, well, he had Cedric Wilson. The only year Cedric Wilson had a good year was 1 year with Dak Prescott. Every other year that he's been there has not been more than a 250-yard-a-year guy. So when you say, he had Cedric Wilson, you act like it was, Stephon Diggs. It wasn't. So stop the bullshit now. Stop the bullshit. We got the Joneses, who are the guys that would say, we're going to do more with less. We're not going to pay money for free agents. We have spent the least amount of money in free agency in the time that Dak Prescott's been the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. So stop. Stop with the bullshit. And it looks like Chris May is going to be our winner chicken dinner tonight with our brand new community leaderboard. Still don't know how all it works, but Chris May with 150 points. Chris, email me with your size and the type shirt that you want with your address so that way we can get it for you, okay? And with all that being said, I'm tired. And Mike's podcast showroom, I got to get these cabinets over and get those installed and get some more videos from the kitchen for hell for you. You get what you pay for, DeWalt. Amen. Hey, I just got the new DeWalt belt sander. Love it. And definitely used the hell out of it on this job, along with a whole bunch of other ones. Yeah, Kellen Moore proves that. All right, Chris May is our winner. Let me say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody being here, being part of the show, and be safe out there. We actually have a tornado watch in effect until midnight. Ain't that some shit? And keep your heads down low and give it to Rhonda. Well, Rhonda just got a shirt. Rhonda just help me. She literally just got a shirt. It customized too. My wife did like a whole cartoon character of Rhonda for her. But or I tell you what, Chris, tell me who else you want me to give it to. Okay? Let me know who else. Anybody else? Rodney Stepaway in the house. Edgar Hewitt, appreciate it. Glimmer Man. That's all, folks. Just email me, Chris, and let me know who you want me to give it to. All right? With that being said, it's time to roll.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts